What is up, y'all? We are here for our midweek alchemy message. And it's interesting that it aligns like exactly with the spike or fluctuation in the Schumann resonance this week, which also aligns with my personal reading for the week, which is interesting. So let's get into the reading. Our midweek alchemy message is the message of the week where we take a look at our spiritual lessons and how we're like unpacking the approach to the work, how we're approaching getting through the lessons. So from the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck, we've got Uranus, followed by Saturn, followed by Mystical Sister. Underneath Uranus, we have Ace of Cups. Underneath Saturn, we've got Two of Wands. And underneath Mystical Sister, we have Temperance. So stay tuned for the whole video because once I get finished talking about the cards, I'll let you guys listen to the audio of the blog today. So Uranus is a lightning strike moment of sudden surprise that brings about change. It's a catalyst. It's a aha or a eureka moment or a breakthrough or a realization, a revelation. Something so deeply striking that it totally shifts our trajectory, our consciousness, and our perspective. Paired with the Uranus card is the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is a renewal of our spirit, emotional renewal, a renewal of our inspiration and our desire. And so when you look at somebody else brought this up today, I can't remember who exactly it was, but they pointed out that, it was Margarita Nazarenka. She's pointing out that the feminine aspect is the representation of the desire, which this is kind of plays off of what we were talking about, I think sometime recently in something I was talking about. And then the masculine aspect is the aspect of our ambition, what we're willing to do outwardly in order to attain and achieve our desire. So the inner versus the outer, the intrinsic versus the extrinsic, just more ways to understand that masculine and feminine balance and dance within ourselves. That might have been in the Manifestation Oracle message from last night. So we have this eureka moment in the midst of the middle of the week that shifts our emotional perspective. And what's interesting is that the Schumann resonance, which is this like electromagnetic scale that measures and shows the resonance of the world's heartbeat, like the heartbeat of the earth. It's like these electromagnetic pulses. And so sometimes there's spikes and sometimes there's intense, waves of spiked energy, and sometimes it's calm. Well, today there was like a split line right in the middle. Usually it looks like all of this like heat waves, and you know what, if I can, I'll go and I'll grab a picture of it and I will insert it at the end so you can see it. But it looks like this solid mass of heat indication and vibrational variance. When you see the chart, the scientific, like just look up the Schumann resonance and you'll see what I'm talking about. But today there was like this like line through the middle of it that looked like almost like a crease in a page. It was that clear. It was like a moment where it was just blank. And some people have thought that meant that there was like a sudden shift in timelines today that set us on a dramatically new trajectory, or that could have, like, say, rebooted our consciousness, right? Totally aligns with these cards. So there might be this moment that we've been, preparing our vessel for. This was a lightning strike moment within the cosmic realms, like a miraculous gift from heaven, like a reset, restart. But even with that, the Saturn card is here with Two of Wands. In order to get out of our current level and our current experience and get into our next level and the next chapter and the next expression of our talent and purpose and potential, we've got to leave our comfort zone. We've got to leave where we've glass ceilinged ourselves up until now and go out beyond what we're comfortable with. And that's going to take all of the virtues and structures of Saturn. It's going to take restriction. It's going to take determination, perseverance, boldness, courage, consistency, dedication, discipline, following through on promises we make to ourselves, and keeping with a schedule, a regimen, right? These are all aspects that would be related to a healthy father figure. And remember, in last night's reading, the manifestation oracle message, we had to deal with our father wound this week in order to become more consistent, more diligent, follow through, and be better, show up more consistently and more dependably to ourselves, right? And then after that, others. So in order to get out of that comfort zone, we're really going to have to step it up and determine within ourselves to stay focused and to follow through on our intentions and to be consistent and dependable with ourselves. And so the soror mystica, or mystical sister, is like that bond that you have with another spiritual kindred person who really wants the best for you and is advocating for you and praying for you. And sometimes we are that person for others. If we're the spiritual awakened person in our village, we are there to others to provide them with comfort and guidance and insight and a little bit of support and direction. So if you want a friend, be a friend. How can you use all of your wisdom and insight and love and presence and be there for those around you? And it's not even to say that you need to preach at them or give them advice or tell them this or that or be responsible for like sharing the gospel and getting them saved and changing them, whatever it is that you feel, pressured to convince someone of. Oh, this is out of your price range. This is, you mean well, but like we keep people in a box. Like it's not our business to interfere with their process and like what the Creator is leading them to. Unless they ask, or unless the Creator puts a very clear and strong impression on us to communicate something to them, right? But sometimes what is the most helpful for people is just to have someone's loving presence and their patient ear and an open heart to receive them, to see them, to witness them, to hear them out. So that also our wisdom, the wisdom that we've achieved through experience, through our connection with the Creator, through the things that we the insights have been revealed to us, we can share those with others. But more so than anything, I think that along with the discipline that we're going to have to integrate into our being to get out of our comfort zone and into our next level, we're also going to have to integrate all of these spiritual, mystical lessons and bring that consciousness into sharing that light with others. And so we are putting all of that goodness into the mixture here. Temperance is about integrating our spiritual transformation and healing and faith into our material existence, into our actions, into our good works and our good deeds, into our thoughts, our consciousness, our emotions, our words, right? And so it's channeling that light of the Creator through into the world. When we do the inner work to correct our soul and to correct our consciousness, we're becoming greater vessels for the light of the Creator, right? And so the more that we share affinity with the Creator, then the greater of a vessel, the more perfected a vessel we are to radiate that light into the world. So when we integrate the virtues of the fruit of the Spirit, we're sharing the goodness of God with others through our love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, forgiveness, self-control, grace, gratitude, right? It's that right there, just emanating those qualities does so much. There's a couple of people at work that mention to me sometimes on a regular basis that my mere presence at work makes them feel calmer and more at ease and more grounded. So they're like, it makes the night flow with more harmony. And I'm like, oh, I was so flattered. I was like, that's always what I hope for, but I don't know if I'm ever successful at doing it. I guess I am for at least some people, right? So the Schumann resonance kind of was like a restart unplug the modem, right? And restart the computer. And it's so funny because in my weekly reading for myself this week, I usually pull like from several decks, 4 cards from each deck, and then I line them up on this frame so that I can see them all throughout the week. And there was like an extra, several of the decks, 5 cards came out. And when I looked at my spread for the week just this morning, I realized that Schumann resonance line was right through the middle of my spread, because it was like the 2 cards at the beginning of the week before that moment, that split in time and space, that split in the frequency, and then the 2 cards after it. And then all the ones, the middle cards, were like talking about the ascension of consciousness and the alignment with the true self. Isn't that so interesting? And the cards before the split were cards about struggles with the ego and sorrow and what else? And the devil card was there. And then the two of the cards in the center were both related to the sun and the Christ consciousness. And then after that, the 2 cards were like talking about like a new sense of passion and love and like fulfillment and peace and creation and abundance and alignment and like true purpose. So I think that's really exciting. I think that's very positive, and I think that this is a shift, at least on a personal, individual level, in a really good direction. So excited to hear all that. That is all for tonight. I am going to watch Kabbalah class and eat some cheese and sip some wine and then eat pizza. So very exciting. I had an unexpected day off today. This was like leading up to 4th of July. Our restaurant is not super busy on those like summer holiday weeks. So we made cuts today, and I wasn't going to give myself the luxury of a cut, but then we spun the wheel and I got to be off today. So I'm so excited to have an extra day off, because that means that I have 3 days off in a row instead of just 2. So yay, needed it. All right, y'all. Peace be with you. Ciao. Our message for the middle of the week couldn't be more clear. There is a sudden shift and awakening happening within us that's leading to a surprising level of enthusiasm, strength, and creativity. We are kissed with a lightning strike of inspiration and renewal. However, it's going to take vigilance, discipline, commitment, devotion, dedication, focus, and determination to get out of our current level and into a new reality. We must leave our comfort zone and determine not to fall back. The mixture is being poured together to prepare the foundation that we will build on. What we put into the mixture will determine its stability and strength. Strength, courage, boldness, virtue, faith, resilience, compassion, love, sharing, the fruits of the Spirit. We live our lives led and guided and provided by God, delivered to us through the Holy Spirit who dwells within. This faith comforts and fortifies against the uncertain nature of the material realm. When we rely on what we can see, feel, taste, hear, and touch, we live with the fear and dread of the precariousness of its temporary nature. All materiality is changeable, temporary, ultimately unreliable. But God, the light and the creator of all, is eternal, unwavering, unchanging, and unconditional. The more we integrate that truth into our being, the more unwavering our connection to the light becomes.